This is Good Morning San Diego.
Good morning, San Diego. I'm Teresa Sardina.
And I'm Jason Ostel. It's Sunday, December 11th. We're getting ready for some rain to come into these parts.
I know, it is so cold outside. Oh, my goodness.
A little chilly.
I was just bundled up, and I know you and I are going to be out on the KUSI news patio this morning. We have Paul's Paella outside, so he's getting things started for us. And I had mentioned, Paul Paellas.
Have you been here when Paul's here making
Yes.
his paellas? Oh, man. I got Tupperware.
But I have not
Tupperware.
interviewed him on the morning show, so that would be great. Usually he will
awesome.
come on the evening and... Yeah. Well, now let's check in with Jason. He's on our KUSI news patio with Paul's Paella. Lucky you. You guys are braving the elements this morning.
Come on, it's San Diego. How brave could we be? But yes, rain is coming, wind is coming, cold air is here. Paul from Paul's Paella is here. Man, this is like Christmas is arrived early because you're here.
Christmas paella. The colors I have on us will be, Christmas themed.
Nice.
So-
How have things been, Paul?
Oh, great. Of course, holiday season,
You're busy.
Yeah, pretty much every weekend. I've had two 52-inch paellas for 200 people twice this week.
Right.
So, and I had a pie yesterday and the day before yesterday, and next weekend's full. Weekdays are all full, though.
Yeah.
Not full, though. We're empty.
Okay.
So please order.
And we
So,
talk about this one you're making right here, 32-inch.
Yeah.
You go up to 50,
Up to 52.
52-inch.
I'll go
This one's
larger, but you better make sure you have
a lot of people.
yeah.
Because you feed a lot of people, and we always talk about,
Yes.
first of all, your ingredients are amazing, which produces the kind of paella that you make. But it's also affordable if you have a get-together, right? A gathering.
Yeah.
How much, because the question's always, how much a head?
It depends. I charge by the pan size. I customize the ingredients, so whatever goes in there, no problem, and it's not extra. But the bigger the pan, cheaper it is. So my 52-incher, I can do a wedding party of 200 for a $9.95, less than $10 a person.
Wow.
So you can't beat that.
No.
Yeah.
And you can't beat that paella.
Oh,
either.
yeah. I love that when you got a young couple that are on a budget and they're kind of wondering, and they see what they get, they realize what they're not paying. You see that big old smile.
Right, exactly.
Man, that's good karma.
Because they're used to when you have a wedding, as soon as you say it's a wedding, the price triples.
40, 50, 60 bucks
Yeah.
a plate. In what? Rubber chicken and dry roast beef. No. Do a paella.
Dude, this stuff, it's hard because people at home, you're seeing it. And what Paul does is he comes here every now and then. We start, this is the first interview of the morning. We check with the progress as the show continues, right up until 11 o'clock. But what you will see this become will look like a work of art. It really is. It's like you almost don't want to cut into it and eat it because it's
vegan,
beautiful.
it's flat, right? It's like a canvas.
Yeah, exactly.
So
a canvas.
it should be treated like that.
And this one's going to be chicken and pork.
Chicken and pork, that's the best tasting.
Yes. That's the consensus around here too.
Yeah, chicken and pork, that also means serrano ham and bacon and 2 types of sausages and halal chicken balls. When I say chicken and pork, there's a lot of different varieties of proteins that go in here.
And then the rice goes in toward the end, right?
The rice goes in, once I got the onions and tomatoes in, it goes into that sofrito, cooks in that a little bit, and then I add a stock to it, and then you get nice and light, and then I start decorating. So.
Yeah. And you learned to do this. You were in the Air Force in Spain. You had paella and you went, oh man.
Yeah, I was in Germany, but we went to Pamplona, me and a couple of officers, and we ran the bulls in '94, and I fell in love with this stuff.
Yeah.
My family's Maltese. We're really big into one-pot cooking, and this is the ultimate one-pan meal.
Yeah.
It really is. And so I've been doing it ever since.
So, where can our viewers get in touch with you?
Okay, www.Paul's Paellas, Instagram @Paul's Paellas. Okay, my number is there. Just give me a call. I will answer, and we'll customize a paella for you.
Man, it's the best. It is the best. I've had paella before, but nothing like this.
I think we're shooting for like 9:45, 9:50 for this to be done.
That works.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Okay. I'm flexible. Let me know.
We're here till 11.
Okay, cool.
All right, Paul. So again, everybody home will be checking in, and when you see what this becomes, it's absolutely amazing, and it tastes great. So, about $10 a head, you can feed your party.
Bigger pans, yeah.
Bigger pans,
okay.
Yeah. All right. We will be right back with more Paul's Paella, more Good Morning San Diego, and we're going to check in with Dave Stahl about an awesome toy drive that's coming up. It's that time of year. We'll be right back. Throughout the morning, we will be checking in with Paul's Paella. They're right there.
Look at that.
This
oh, my
is the
goodness.
ultimate food stuff on the planet.
It's always wonderful having Paul with us at KUSI.
Oh, yeah. By 10 o'clock this morning, trust me, that is going to look like a work of art. He's surgical with this stuff, man.
Well,
He knows what
lucky
he's doing.
you, because I won't be here in the 10 o'clock hour since I'm heading over to Helen Woodward Animal Center for the Hope Telethon. So you get to enjoy the paella with our production team.
I got a big old Tupperware tub, too. You always do. When Paul comes, you bring Tupperware. You have to.
We've got something cooking on our KUSI News patio this morning. We'll check in with Paul from Paul's Paella when Good Morning San Diego returns.
Oh, are we on? Oh, hey, guys. Welcome back to the patio. Paul's here from Paul's Paella, and he's whipping it up. And describe where we are in the process now, Paul.
Well, we got most of the meat proteins cooked. I say most. I got some of my halal chicken balls to add. I rendered all those juices from those meat proteins, added some Irish butter, and I've thrown in a little mixed vegetable medley here. So
Why Irish butter?
Higher fat content.
You got to have
I know that doesn't sound right, but come on.
Right?
This tastes better.
No, it's worth it. It's good.
So,
all right.
I think.
So what do we look? You got your veggies going. Now, is the meat already cooked?
These meats are cooked and they're pushed to the side. I just got that center burner on now. I get a little spice in there too. And, there we go.
And another thing I remember, and what is that, saffron, turmeric, what?
This is just a concoction. I used to buy this paella spice in Spain, but they stopped making the ones that were all natural.
Yeah.
So I put together, it's like coriander and cumin, a little bit of turmeric, rosemary, some crushed peppercorns, a little bit of salt, a few of the things just kind of grab out of there.
One thing I don't want to pass over here is the bowls that you use. There's a history behind these things, right?
I was stationed in Turkey in the 90s, and in Turkey back in the 90s, if it wasn't 500 years old, it was junk. So these are measly 200 years old. I'm buying this for nothing. There's no internet back then.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that anymore.
So that's a 200-year-old bowl?
That's 200-year-old. And if you look back here, this tray, this is where paella came from. In North Africa, Eastern Middle East, they would cook on these tin-lined copper trays or brass or bronze. And the Spaniards just basically added Roman steel to the mix. And that's kind of where paella came from.
Wow.
So it's great stuff. And I got this stuff all over my house. My wife almost got rid of it, so I took her to Turkey, she realized, hey, those things are worth something.
Yeah,
they are.
Right. So this is I always make a point to let people know that what you're seeing here as the process is going on, it's at the very end when you use those triangle things and you make it. It looks like art.
It's big and it's flat. It's a food canvas. It's begging for decoration. Now in Spain, you see a little bit. They'll rain some lemons on the outside.
Sure.
The seafood, maybe put a crab or a lobster in the center. Maybe arrange the mussels aesthetically, you know?
Right.
I take it to the next step and I decorate the entire surface, which is a no-no in Spain. They got a bizarre history. I won't bore the audience with it, but it's all tied up with regional fascism, nationalism.
Right.
That doesn't allow them to experiment. We don't have that problem here.
Yeah.
So
you can let your hair down.
You let your hair down and go crazy with your paella. So,
all right.
You can see that in my ingredients too. My ingredients are very unorthodox, but they work.
They work very, very well. And one more time, people want to get in touch with you for an event coming up because, you know, it always, we talk about how much ahead if I'm having an event, and you can do it really inexpensively, and it's amazing
bigger crowds,
food.
yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a very efficient way to cook. www.Paul's Paellas, Instagram at Paul's Paellas, 760-681-1990. I will answer the phone. If you call me right now, I'll answer it right now.
There you go.
Jason doesn't mind.
But this is we were just talking about how therapeutic it is for you when you do these. I mean, we both love to cook. I can't do what you do.
You know, even when I was in the
fun.
service, I had some high-stress jobs. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd be doing something, cooking.
Yes.
You know, cooking is therapy. You got to get it out of your head that it's something to do.
Yeah.
Eating is something you have to do. This is doing it well.
Right.
And if you got to eat every day and you do it well.
Phone's ringing.
I was just kidding. So, ma'am, I'll call you back. I assume it's a ma'am. So.
All right. Okay, so again, we're going to keep checking up. The rice can't be far behind, right?
Nope. I'm going to get my onions, tomatoes, and anchovy and garlic in there, then the rice will be right after.
Okay.
So, I think these vegetables had enough, actually. I'm going to push them to the side.
Okay.
And speaking of onions, I think we'll add
There we go.
I promise I will call you back.
He'll call you back. No worries. All right, Paul, we'll check in with you in a little bit.
All righty, Jason, you take care.
This is the chicken and the pork paella.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
All right. We'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego.
All right.
And we're going to check in again with Paul's Paellas.
Look at that go. It's almost ready.
Paul's Paella, man. This stuff, you're looking at it as it progresses in that 32-inch pan that he's cooking with. This is a chicken and pork. Now he's pouring some more stuff in there, good stuff. And then once he adds the rice, and then it starts, by the end of this process, it's going to look like a work of art. You'll see, you won't even want to cut into it.
Looks
It looks that good.
delicious.
Yes. When Paul comes to the show, you always bring Tupperware.
That's a good idea.
Because he feeds a lot. I mean, if you have a big party going on or an event, you can feed people for less than $10 a head.
Yeah.
$10 a head right in there. So it's affordable and it's very good.
Let's send things over to Jason on the patio with Paul Paellas. Oh my goodness, how are things looking out there?
Things are looking amazing, smelling amazing. What stage of the process are we at now, Paul?
As far as the actual paella, everything's in there. It needs to be in there.
Okay.
The rice and the stock and all the meat, protein, saffron, everything. Now, I got this big flat surface. I call this my food canvas. I start decorating.
Oh,
The
yes,
word
you do.
that shivers up Spaniard spines. So,
Because in Spain, they don't decorate their paella.
Fish minimally, lemons, limes on the outside. It's the Valencian reaction to paella becoming a national dish was to say this is how we did it in the 1850s. Non plus ultra, you can't change.
Right.
That we don't have that history. We didn't have fascists here, so it's a bizarre history. It really is. So I decorate every square inch because it's big and it's flat. It's just begging for it.
Right. Well, this is your 32-inch pan, but you go up to 52 inches.
Yes.
Depending on the size of the crowd you're cooking for.
Yeah, 52 feet, about 200 people. Like you have salad or an appetizer to go with it, 250, 300, easy.
And this one, how many?
20 to 40 based on how much food product I put in there.
Yeah.
I charge by the pan though.
Right.
So if you order me, you got 20 people, get 20 more friends. 'Cause they'll feed 40. So.
They don't feed a lot. Everybody
Yeah.
will go home with some, probably.
Yeah, well, I did one for 200, a company where I work, where I live, and I fed everyone. Everyone had seconds, and I would say about half of them brought paella home.
Oh, yeah.
Spanish dish, Maltese chef, I believe in leftovers.
Oh,
Everyone
yes.
goes home with food.
Well, the rule is when Paul comes to the show, bring Tupperware. Tommy texted me, I think, 3 times between last night and this morning. Just wrote Tupperware.
Hey, it's wonderful.
It is.
It's good karma. So,
It really is. So what's the next step in this process? How long does it take you beginning to end to make one of these?
3 days. Day to shop, day to chop. Actual cooking time, 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Because Bomba rice, and I stick to traditional dish, makes sense.
Yeah,
rice
you
from
are always
Valencia,
using that
Spain,
rice.
it likes to be cooked low and slow.
Okay.
And so really low heat. And it gives me time to decorate also. But right now, I'm waiting for some of the stock to go away so I can put some
So
of
you're
my
reducing
copper
it right
molds
now?
in. Yeah. Well, the rice is absorbing the liquid.
Right.
My next molds are copper, and I don't want to stick them in hot liquid. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put that on. Beg your pardon, guys.
Phone's ringing.
So I thought I stuck it on vibrate. I guess I did. Low-tech guy. What can I say?
That's all right.
So every once in a while, I check the bottom here, make sure a little caramelization's on bottom is good.
Okay.
Burning is not.
Right.
When you get
Fine
that
line.
yeah.
There's a fine line between that.
Yeah. Well, you get that caramelization is called socarat. That's highly coveted. Big pans like this, that's risky. If you get too much of that, you'll also get a little bit of burning, and that will affect the overall flavor.
Okay.
You don't want that.
So you're about to start, so you're going to start decorating now?
Yeah, I got these are in there because they're non-reactive. You got heat, salt, and copper is a bad combo.
Okay.
And my next molds are copper, so I got to wait for that liquid to go down.
I see.
So
All right. All right, so you should be done about 10 o'clock this morning?
If that's what you want, sure.
Yeah,
So,
10 o'clock.
You got it.
It'll, like I said, don't go anywhere. If you haven't seen this when it's finished, it doesn't look anything like this. It looks
No,
amazing.
It's a food canvas.
Yeah,
It
it
should
really
be treated
is.
as such.
It really is.
So.
Chicken and pork.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Best one. I think it's the best one you made.
I think it is, actually.
It's so good.
I think it is.
Okay. We will be checking in with Paul again in just a little bit, and we'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego.
Paul's Paella. He's still cooking up things on our
Look at that.
KUSI news patio. Look at that. Wow, how beautiful. Lucky you. You've been on the patio
of
with
art.
him throughout Good Morning San Diego. It's always so nice to have Paul here. I have not had a chance
Wonder
to
what those are.
interview Paul.
Is that quail? I don't know if those are quail eggs. I know he sometimes uses quail eggs.
Okay, I'm
We'll
told from our
see.
producer Felicia that I will be joining Paul
Cool.
later in the show.
Good.
Paul is out on the patio, and he is making a masterpiece. Teresa, out to you.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, San Diego. Welcome back. I'm here with Paul Paellas. It is so good to see you. This is my first time doing
Good
a
to see you,
segment
too.
with you.
God, it is. Although you've had my paella before. I know
Yes,
that. I've
I
seen you.
have. It's
Yeah.
delicious. You have been in business since 2017, but you have been creating this masterpiece since 1994, and you have been so busy because we've had you on KUSI multiple times, and our viewers just love it. And people book you for events, which is wonderful. And paella is a Spanish cuisine. It's a Mediterranean cuisine from Spain, and you just got back from Spain. Tell us about it.
Every October, I spend a whole month in Spain, and I go to Valencia, of course. I got to have the paella in Valencia. That is the heartland. But also, I got a lot of Venezuelan relatives. My wife's Venezuelan. Throughout Spain, I like to go visit, and they like to take their California paellero out, eating and drinking. I have a great time. So, but if you're going to be cooking paella, you need to get to Spain once in a while, see what they're doing. So,
Must be nice.
Yeah,
For
it
our
is.
viewers who are just tuning in for the 10 o'clock hour, what are the ingredients for paella?
wow. Well, if you're Valencian, there's about 7 ingredients. It includes rabbit and snails. If you're me, anything my customer wants. Every paella I make is customized based on what the customer wants, and I've done a lot of interesting paella. Chicken and pork, very common. Seafood, of course, very common. But I've done lamb and duck and whatever. And
explain how it's cooked. I love your setup out here.
yeah, well, you know what? I start off with about 3 pounds of bacon and a thing like this, but you put your meat proteins in there, saute it in olive oil, get all those juices out of those meat proteins. Then you put in onion. I put in onion. In Valencia, you put no onion in.
Oh, interesting.
Onion and tomato. I also like a little bit of anchovy and garlic. You can get that tomato base, because it is a Mediterranean dish, essentially. And then you add your rice. You can cook, and that's just, I mentioned a few ingredients. You can literally cook anything in here, really.
And what is this called that it's cooking in?
The pan that's the paella pan, that's the paellero. That's where the name comes from.
Interesting.
Paella, which comes from patella, it goes an old Latin word for pan. So bacon and eggs in the morning, you're making paella. Not really, but yeah, you are kind of, because it refers to the pan itself.
And how long do you let it cook for?
I use bomba rice from Valencia, Spain, and this stuff likes to be cooked low and slow, so typically 3 hours at a low temperature. Of course, it's 3 days of work, because it's a day of shopping, day of chopping, and designing. I don't make the same design twice. So if you order me a paella, paella, that's your paella. You can name it. It will not be done again.
All right, and how can people contact you?
www.Paul's Paellas, Instagram @Paul's Paellas, 760-681-1990. Wait a few seconds before calling, please. Okay.
Wait, your phone's on vibrate this time.
I thought it was. Let's see.
I love it.
But,
But San Diego, just imagine you are hosting a party for the holidays. You could have Paul Paellas out to your home, out for your event, and you can have a wonderful feast. Paul, thank you
More people
so
you got,
much.
cheaper it is per person.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, look at it. They're already calling you.
Sorry about
All
that.
right. We'll have more
I
coming
gotta-
up after the break.
I gotta
Paul,
learn that
thank you.
vibrate. Okay.
Now listen, things over to Jason. He's on the patio with Paul, with Paul's Paella. Wow, you guys are so lucky out there. I wonder if you
We're
are
happy to
going to be
contribute.
getting a bite right now.
Self-interested users. I like that here, though. Even though I wasn't making money, I keep telling Tom I would come here anyway.
Yeah,
this is fun.
I know.
So
Paul loves coming here, everybody, and this is the finished product. I was very reassuring you earlier that it was
matter
going
of
to look
fact.
like a work of art. Here it is.
yeah,
I mean,
actually,
it's amazing.
finished product is with another minute of high heat to get some caramelization on the
So,
bottom.
as we look at the white on top, those are quail eggs, yes?
Yes, this is hominy. These are quail eggs.
Okay, that's hominy. Got
yes. So pozole, menudo, Venezuelan arepas, grits, and my paella.
Nice.
I really like when you get that. So,
Nice.
So everything here is superficial. There's edible orchids, lemons, tomatoes, peas, red peppers, and corn. Of course, the real stuff's underneath.
Yeah.
And it's like 35 ingredients.
Yeah,
So-
and this is, like I said, every time you
do this. I come out here. This is the last time we're going to be showing this paella this morning because it's a finished product. But it's like you look at it. You shouldn't even cut it up. It just looks that good.
Regret with the first scoop that goes away with the first bite.
That's true.
You got it.
That's true. So. Well, it's great. So are these bell peppers, tomatoes?
Red peppers, yes.
Red peppers. Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm. So, and so you're getting. I'm hearing a little crackling.
Yeah.
That's some of the rice starting to caramelize. Now, for a pan this size, for a pan this size, you can't get sacarat. It's called sacarat. Can't get it everywhere. Because if you get it too much of it, you will get some dark spots too. And that will hurt the flavor.
So now you turn the heat completely off.
And this thing is ready to serve. Now it's paella, and we'll serve it. And let's say the party's going for a while, and it's like an hour and a half, and it starts getting cool. I'll throw more stock in, reheat it. That will be a wet paella called a caldoso, which means brothy rice.
Right.
So I could be serving this hot, paella and then caldosa 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And
so if you're having an event and you're looking for somebody to cater for some food and things like that, this right here, it's like you get dinner and a show because you get to watch Paul put it all together, and that's part of it.
And I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
So So this is my smallest one you can order. It takes 3 days. I can do a smaller pan, and I will as a side to this. I'm a vegan vegetarian. It's about 22 inches, but 3 days work. I can't charge you $800 for a small paella. It's just not morally right. So 20 to 40 people this will feed based on how much product I put in there.
And I got my Tupperware inside. This isn't my first rodeo. All right, Paul, how do our viewers get in touch with you? The phone's already ringing. Every time.
I'll get back to you. If you're listening, I'll get back to you, I promise. I got to figure out the vibrate. Okay. I'm sorry.
How do they get in touch with you, though?
Okay, www.paulspaellas. My contact information is there. Instagram @paulspaellas. Contact information there, too.
Okay.
Or 760-681-1990. Again, wait a few minutes.
He's kind of got his hands full.
So
a little busy.
I got to figure out my phone. Okay.
Go on YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess so. I also do.
All right, thanks.
You just won't listen, will you?
The man's doing business. We'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego.
All righty.